Stay dandy, baby. 3 years. 3 years. Even more if you count the anime version of Boruto. I have been waiting for this moment, for the major introduction of a brand new character for the series, which is going to change everything. The vessel, which has been painstakingly guarded by the Kara organization, has officially broken free in the latest episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, and I'm not even sure if they even say his name properly in this episode, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. His name really isn't even all that important. It's the character himself. This is the formal introduction of none other than Kawaki, the vessel of Kara. This has been such a long time coming. This is what I've been really waiting to see in the Boruto anime series. And I think the first episode, his introduction, was pretty damned awesome, establishing that he is something on an entirely different level than anything else that we've seen from the entire Naruto verse. This is something a little different here, and I can already feel it in this episode as they delve not only into his backstory, but his actual awakening. Not only that, but the introduction of another brand new villain, which is going to be perfect so that we can see what this guy is all about. So let's go ahead and dive right into the latest episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. There's so many things about this episode that I really liked. First and foremost, they took a manga chapter that was pretty quick and pretty barren, and they managed to add a lot of interesting things to it. Case in point, the very beginning of the episode. It really isn't just about Boruto and his friends discovering Kawaki and him just waking up. They do a great job of subtly incorporating his backstory as well as his connection to Kara. At the very beginning of the episode, we actually get this scene where he's trying to escape from the organization, only to be stopped by a man who goes by the name of Garo, another man who was experimented on by the Kara organization, and basically he lost his 2 arms in the process of this creepy experimentation, and in its place were these giant metal claws. And Garo has something of an anger problem. When he sees that Kawaki not only didn't lose anything, but he's trying to leave Kara, well, basically this just pisses the man off. This is when suddenly Kawaki unleashes the power of his karma. Yes, he has one just like Boruto, and he ends up blasting Garo directly in the face, which basically completely destroys his bottom jaw and chin, to the point that in the future, he basically is transformed into a Frankenstein Bane-looking motherfucker, and man, he is just one hell of a creepy individual. So basically we get to learn in this backstory that Kawaki is indeed one of these vessels which has been created by Kara, but he's been desperately wanting to escape ever since he was a child. In fact, his entire backstory is incredibly messed up as we dive into it a little further, seeing that his father essentially sold him to Jigen, the leader of Kara, having no problem with getting rid of his son, just kicking his ass out the door. This is completely different meaning when you're trying to push the little baby bird out of the freaking nest. He basically got rid of him just for a little bit of dough. And Jigen has taken Kawaki under his wing to make him his weird little experimental child. That's what brings us to the current storyline. After years of being experimented on, Kawaki has had enough. He is ready to leave the organization. But when he finally wakes up from his comatose state, he is confronted by Boruto and all of his friends, and he is immediately hostile, just screaming rapidly with chakra exploding all around his body, leaving a massive crater in the ground, jumping up into the air and practically floating like a character from Dragon Ball freaking Z. This is an intense moment as he prepares to throw down with Boruto and all of his friends, shocked over the prospect that Boruto indeed also has the karma mark. Now, while all of this is going on, we have this one scene that's going on between the leader of Kara, Jigen, and Delta, who doesn't seem to get along with anyone. She is just a bitch to absolutely everyone that she runs into, including the leader of the organization that she works for. And again, this episode establishes yet again that she's kind of like this weird half-human, half-android type of character as she's lost all sense of taste. This is made clear by the fact that Jigen is sitting here eating some really delicious looking anime food, and she gets really pissed off and kicks his table away, breaking it in half, when suddenly Jigen is able to suddenly just summon another table with food, with wine. This is the type of guy that you want to bring when you want to get some food. It's, again, a small hint to what his powers are actually going to be. Manga readers are definitely going to know what it is, but seeing it here in the anime is just as shocking as it was in the manga, where suddenly something just appears. Trust me, they'll elaborate on that a little bit more in the future, but But basically, Delta gets permission to actually go help out Kashin Koji and trying to get Kawaki back. But before she does, she ends up going to some random dilapidated city where she finds Garo, who has now got a brand new look. He's got even bigger metal claws, he's wearing a creepy gas mask on his face, he has scars all over his head, and frankly, he just looks like a horrifying individual. But she decides that she's going to bring him along to try and get Kawaki and bring the vessel back. And of course, he has no problem in doing this because, you know, Kawaki is responsible for completely disfiguring him, so he probably wants to do the same back. As long as he can bring him alive, that's really all that matters. So he's gonna jump at the opportunity to kick this dude's ass, and that's basically what happens at the end of the episode when we get the sudden appearance of Garo in all of his creepiness as he prepares to attack Kawaki and his brand new comrades. And you get to see that he has these big giant metal claws who can shoot these big fire blasts. He kind of looks like a freaky R-rated Mega Man villain, and then Kawaki decides to go on the attack himself, being able to transform his arm into like a blade-like object as he goes toe-to-toe with the creepy gas mask man, and the episode just ends. And I love the preview for the next episode because the preview shows nothing. You know it's going to be a good episode when something like that happens. All they show is like the karma mark on his hand as it slowly does like this pan backward, and I just can't wait to see what the next one's going to be about. Hopefully it's going to have really great production value, and we're going to get to see this epic battle with Garo, which I know is going to be pretty fun to say the least, but I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it in the anime version. Basically, this is like the beginning of the next major part of the series, and I can't wait to see how they're going to do it justice. What's the rundown on this episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? Whew, I really liked this episode so much. Again, not that much even happened, but they managed to cram in a lot of like really interesting backstory for Kawaki, as well as preemptively introducing the character of Garo, because the fact of the matter is when he showed up in the manga, he was just some dude who just sort of showed up and that was it. Here, by establishing that he has a stronger backstory with Kawaki, how he was injured by him, and how he has a connection with the other members of Kara, I think is pretty remarkable in the way that they built him up. Again, like I said, it made him feel like more of a threat, and it made his presence a lot more like terrifying, considering that this dark history that he has with this character, we want to get revenge against him and mess him up just like he did to him. I think that was handled really well, and his overall design is just disturbing. He's not like the big super mega bad villain, but he's definitely not someone that you want to mess with at all. I mean, he's big, he's powerful, he's fast, he's got metal claws, he's super strong, and he can fire giant fire blasts. This is a guy that you still need to be careful around. He's a striking and disturbing villain, and a step in the right direction for how crazy these villains are going to get for the rest of the Kara arc and beyond. I'm excited to see more of that guy in his battle with Kawaki. Kawaki, of course, is exactly what he needs to be in this episode. He's dark, he's edgy, he's confused, he doesn't really know anything that's going on. He's that type of character that at first might seem a little stock, but they're going to build on him so much more as the actual series goes on. And the fact that they teased what his future with Boruto is going to be like at the beginning of the series is only going to drive home that amazing intrigue of the character that is Kawaki. And of course, getting to learn a little bit more about the connection between him and Boruto, the fact that they have these marks on their bodies, the karma mark, these are going to be very important for the future of the series. Even seeing Kashin Koji and Delta witness all of this is some pretty big stuff here. It's all really good. Really though, I cannot wait to see more. I thought this was a solid introduction to the character, and it's building up the next major battle of the series, which, considering we just got a really awesome one with Ao and Kashin Koji, really, this is the arc that just keeps on giving. And what's crazy is that it's really only just the beginning of the things that we're going to see from the future of Kara. I'm so excited. I loved this episode so much. So I'm going to give this episode a 5 out of 5. Cannot wait for the next one. I really want to get your thoughts on the episode though, and you can tell me all of them in the comments section below. Make sure to sound off and tell me what you thought about the latest episode of Boruto, the introduction of Kawaki. Any theories, any hopes and dreams of what do you want to see from his character in the future? What do you hope to see in the big battle against Garo, the super scarred mechanical monster man? And what do you hope to see from the future of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? Sound off. Comment section below. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please think about subscribing to the channel. You can see a lot more reviews all like this. It's awesome. I also want to take this time to thank all of my patrons. You guys are awesome making those monthly donations and watching my videos. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choosing, as well as adding your name to this list of people, the credits, the super producers of Ace Guru. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time. And as always, stay down there, baby.